All right, so we're back from our closed session on Monday, June 6, 2022, and it's 8:35, and we were just in closed session under section 239(2)E of the Municipal Act, discussing the servicing agreement between Adelaide Metcalfe and Strathroy Caradoc. And that was a verbal update, and I believe we don't have anything to the Horizon report. So with that being said, we'll go into other business, and I think Councillor McKinnon, you had some comments in regards to the Kerwood Park.
Yes. At the ribbon cutting ceremonies, a couple of people that were in attendance made comment about the size of the accessible washrooms and felt that we had not utilized the space in them. So I wondered if Morgan could explain the sizing and how we came up with it. And there was also an accessibility issue with a gentleman in a wheelchair, and he was using the facility, and he said that the toilet seat was too low for someone in a wheelchair. And I just wondered if we could look into that matter and get back to him. I think everyone knows who it was. So. Oh, and also the last concern that was brought to my attention was the lighting in the old pavilion. They wondered if it could be shut off a little earlier on the timers.
Morgan.
Okay, thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor McKinnon. In terms of the size of the washrooms, they're built to a standard defined to us through accessibility. They have to be large enough to be able to have, for example, an adult change table. And those are pretty big mechanisms. The average adult is probably 6 feet, and you have to have room for them to receive assistance in terms of using the adult change table. There is also a safety component to having one washroom with one locked door. We know that there are kids in the area that will be using the park, and it does alleviate some safety concerns for folks using the washroom facility. In terms of the toilet, so again, through the building code, accessibility is defined to us by the province. And toilets are supposed to be anywhere from 17 inches to 19 inches off the ground. We measured that toilet and it was right in the middle, being 18 inches. So it absolutely meets accessibility standards. These accessibility regulations are built into the design of these facilities by engineers. They're reviewed and approved by our building services team. And then are inspected by our building inspectors. So they do get their measuring tape out there to make sure that these things are meeting the regulations that are given to us. So not sure, Councillor McKinnon, if that answers all of your questions there.
The last one was the timers on the old pavilion lighting. Could it be shut down earlier than, I think she was saying 3 a.m.?
Yeah, so I sent Colt a note shortly after that, the grand opening there, just talking about the lights, and he's going to look at the timer to make sure that it's not turning on at the wrong hours of the night. But yeah, aside from those, I did take a couple notes as well. I received those. We also talked to a gentleman about the screens that we had up on the pavilions. But otherwise, we received a lot of great feedback from those that were there. It was quite a great event. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Clark.
Yeah, I'm just going to cause a bit of trouble here. I'll preface my comments by that. I'm just wondering, this is maybe directed at Coulter, is there, I don't know that this will be something that might come up, but is there any thought given to, for larger events, if the lawnmower would be removed from the parking spot that it's in, and that space could be used for something else in the case of a large event? Or is that strictly out of bounds.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. I did actually speak with the Optimist about that issue, and that is something that we can definitely do if there's a large event and they need some extra space. So we have no problem moving that lawnmower to another building. That's not a big issue at all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, is there any other comments in regards to the Kerwood Park? No. All right, is there anything else for other business? It's probably a perfect time to talk about the Kerwood Park and the Optimist ball tournament. And I'll hand it over to Deputy Mayor Hendricks to tell you all the good stuff about what's going on next weekend, or this coming weekend.
Okay. So it's one of the many things going on next weekend. So the Optimist Ball Tournament will start Friday night at about 6 o'clock. I think the first games might be at 6 or 7. I don't have the schedule, but it'll continue on through the weekend. There will be, they have a live band coming out on Friday night and fireworks on Saturday night. And then the ball tournament will finish up Sunday afternoon. So they won't be doing the big brunch that they've done other years, but there will be breakfast sandwiches available in the mornings, and then the hamburgers and hot dogs that they have the rest of the weekend will be on the barbecue. So everybody's welcome to come out and watch some baseball and socialize with the neighbors. There is also a garden party on the 25th. I don't have it in front of me, but I will for sure announce that at the next council meeting.
All right, perfect. Is there anything else for other business before we get to the bylaws? Okay, seeing none, so we have just our one bylaw, and that's bylaw number 30 of 2022, the confirming of our June 6, 2022 meeting, and that's to receive the first, second, and third and final reading. Okay, Councillor McKinnon, seconded by Deputy Mayor Hendricks. All those in favor? And that's carried. And then a motion to adjourn at 8:43. Okay, Councillor McKinnon, seconded by Councillor Clark. All those in favor? And that's carried.